You spent weeks gathering data. You mapped processes, ran financials, and compiled a 50-page analysis. But when that massive binder slides across the polished boardroom table, the CEO pushes it back and says, "Leave it with me. I'll read it this weekend," which means it's dead. Consultants and managers often fail despite having the correct data. The breakdown usually occurs when complex findings are presented to a time-poor executive who cannot parse the information quickly enough to make a decision. To fix this, top-tier business diagnosticians use what's called a Shindan report. This is a highly condensed, strictly 5-page document, meticulously engineered specifically to bypass executive fatigue and secure immediate budget approval. C-level executives don't want a diary of how hard you work to find the answer. To approve a project, they only need 3 questions answered. How much money or opportunity are we losing right now? How exactly are you going to fix it? And how much will it cost, with an exact timeline for when it pays for itself? In executive communication, less is more. Minimizing the page count maximizes your impact. We need to shift your mindset from proving your analytical rigor to crafting a targeted business pitch. Let's build that 5-page blueprint. Step 1 is the most critical, the executive summary. This is page 1, and it must fit entirely on a single page. If this page fails to capture their attention, the board will not read page 2. To work, this single page needs 3 distinct sections. First, the specific financial loss occurring today. Second, a brief statement of the root cause. And third, the proposed solution paired directly with the expected return on investment. Look at this mock-up for a 10 million baht software request. It gets straight to the point. The company is losing 5 million baht a year because sales teams can't see accurate stock levels. The root cause is duplicate data entry. The solution is a 10 million baht ERP system that will recover those lost sales and pay for itself in exactly 14 months. If you fill this first page with the company's founding history or dense technical specifications about cloud servers and programming languages, you will lose the CEO's attention immediately. Keep it strictly to the business impact. Now that you've made the pitch on page 1, page 2 is where you prove the problem is real and severe. This is the current state and problem statement. Before asking for money, you have to show the operational chaos. You do this by combining hard data, charts showing rising error rates, with Gemba, or on-site evidence. Include a photograph of the actual physical waste, like damaged goods piled up on the warehouse floor. Page 1 appeals directly to the executive's wallet by outlining the financial stakes. Page 2 appeals to their sense of urgency by showing them physical, visual proof of the bleeding, making the problem impossible to ignore. Moving to page 3, we hit the root cause analysis. This is where you display your logical thinking to the board and dispel any preconceived assumptions about who is to blame. By using a simplified fishbone structure, you point directly to systemic flaws, like duplicate data entry, rather than blaming lazy employees. Isolating this exact mechanical failure is crucial. It shifts boardroom energy away from finger-pointing, moving everyone toward objective problem-solving. That brings us to page 4, countermeasures. Think of this page as the specific medical prescription for the diagnosed operational disease. A strong prescription breaks the solution down into 3 mandatory phases: quick wins, medium-term improvements, and long-term strategic investments. You must lead with quick wins. These are immediate actions your team can take next week that require 0 budget. You have to show the board that you are doing everything possible to stop the bleeding internally before asking for their money. For the long-term solution, illustrate the future state using a simple business flow diagram. Show how information moves between departments. Do not use complex IT architecture maps. Those only confuse decision-makers who need to see business outcomes, not server configurations. Proving the root cause removes emotional bias from the room, and offering a phased solution builds trust. It proves to the board that you are actively managing operational risk, rather than just asking for a blank check. Finally, we reach page 5, the action plan and ROI. This is the ultimate deciding factor for securing financial approval. A great idea without execution details is just a proposal waiting to be rejected. Your action plan needs a clean Gantt chart. For every single proposed task, you must list a specific owner and a hard deadline. The board needs to know exactly who to hold accountable. Map costs against tangible benefits. Here, a 10 million baht cost is quickly overtaken by the green line, representing 15 million baht in recovered stock. Translate abstract benefits into hard metrics, converting 20 saved hours into 120,000 baht saved monthly. Before you print or hit send on this 5-page document, you have to perform one final quality check. You need to scan the entire report and eliminate all subjective, emotional language. Look at this edit. If you write that deliveries are very slow and customers are frequently complaining, you sound like you are guessing. Cross those out. Replace them with precise data, an 18% delay rate resulting in 45 recorded complaints. Executives can and will argue with your feelings, but they cannot argue with universal data. Translating emotional frustration into precise numbers turns a hopeful plea for resources into a verifiable financial proposition. Let's look at what you've built. On the left is the standard 50-page stack of technical analysis. On the right, the 5-page Shindan report. It is clean, focused, and built entirely around business outcomes. When a CEO reads this new format, comprehension takes 5 minutes instead of 5 days. They can see exactly what is broken, exactly how to fix it, and exactly when they will get their money back. That clarity leads to a signature on the budget. Data has no inherent power. It only gains value when it dictates a specific change in how the company operates. This report forces that transition by presenting insights in a format that demands a yes or no answer. Submit the report, and you have completed half the task. A high-quality 5-page document earns you the opportunity to defend your logic in person before the board of directors. Once the CEO reads this and agrees with the findings, you have to be ready for the next challenge. You will have to stand in front of the board, pitch the idea live, and survive a rigorous question-and-answer session to prove your competence. Mastering the written pitch secures the meeting. Mastering the verbal pitch secures the project. We'll break down exactly how to handle that boardroom presentation in the next video.